Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you being here. You are so welcome. If this is your first time, this is your home. We are your people. We love you. You belong here, and we're so happy to have you. And that goes equally for the people who've been here lots of times. So thanks for coming back. I'm Mary Beth. I'll be your service leader today. My pronouns are she and her. So I'm going to ask Claire and Ray, and they're going to lead us. Y'all know this song. It's a nice round, but they're going to lead us in some centering music. So let's listen, take deep breaths, and be grateful for our time here. I'm going to have Claire come up and do our chalice lighting.
These are the words we just sang, the poem that they're from, the words of Rumi. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. It doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times. Come, yet again. Come, come.
At this point, we're going to have some opening words. If you want to bring out the gray hymnal, and it's a responsive reading. So it's number 442, We Bid You Welcome. And I'll ask that, it's also up here, but if you'll read the words in bold. We bid you welcome, who come with weary spirit seeking rest.
Who come with troubles that are too much for you, who come hurt and afraid.
We bid you welcome, who come with hope in your heart.
Who come with anticipation in your step, who come proud and joyous.
We bid you welcome, who are seekers of a new faith.
Who come to grow and explore, who come to learn.
We bid you welcome, who enter this hall as a homecoming.
Who have found here room for your spirit, who find in this people a family.
Whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey.
We bid you welcome.
And if you want to keep your hymnals open, just flip on over to page 360. I'll invite the choir to come, and if you're willing and able and would like to stand with us and sing, we will sing Here We Have Gathered, again, number 360. And then after that, if you want to stay standing, we'll do our covenant. Thanks. And we're going to, if you'll stay standing, if you can, we'll sing or say our covenant together. It'll be up here. Love is the spirit of the church, in service its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thanks. You may be seated. Claire's going to come up and do a time for all ages.
Get our first picture. Yeah. All right. We're not going to gather at the front because you want to be able to see our pictures. If I could make a children's book of this, I would. So this is a Sufi tale called The Little Stream Called to the Sea. Once there was a little stream that dreamed of flowing to the sea. The stream started in an aquifer, a huge pool of water underground. But the call of the ocean was so strong that the stream pushed its way through nooks and cracks up through the earth until it burst forth into the air and began its journey toward the sea. can turn the page. As its waters bubbled to the surface, they ran down the hill, carving the stream bed into the earth. Sometimes the stream babbled as it traveled. Sometimes it gurgled, sometimes it roared. At times, the stream traveled alone. Its waters were so clear you could see the pebbles that lined its bed. At other times, the stream ran through great lakes or tumbled over a cliff or joined other streams to form a river and then split again to travel alone. But always, always, the little stream yearned to flow into the sea. Sometimes the stream would run fast and deep, eager to reach the sea. Next page. Fish swam in its waters as it carried them swiftly on its journey. Sometimes the stream would grow wide and slow, and it would carry boats on its back as it continued its journey. But always, always, the little stream yearned to flow into the sea. One day, just as the call of the ocean seemed to grow a bit stronger, the stream found itself growing sluggish. Its waters grew thick with mud until sadly it pooled into a brackish mud hole right on the edge of the desert. Next picture. Woe is me, thought the little stream. Now I'll never get to the sea. It tried going around the desert, but the desert was too wide. It tried going under the desert, but the desert was too deep. Still, even with mud in its ears, the little stream heard the call of the ocean and yearned to flow to the sea. After what seemed like a long time, as the stream just pooled there in the sun, it began to hear a second voice. Next picture. I can take you to the sea, little stream, whispered the wind. Come with me. I'll carry you to the ocean shore. How could you do that? Scoffed the stream. You are only made of air. I can carry you on a breeze, whispered the wind, but you must be very brave, for you must let go of yourself and change. I have changed many times, said the stream. But this will be different, said the wind. The little stream paused, but deep within, the stream still yearned for the sea. And so the stream let go, and the wind picked it up, particle by particle. At first, the stream was scared, for it felt lost. It was no longer a stream, but was turned sort of inside out, and had become moisture swirling in the sky. The view was like nothing the little stream had ever seen before. Not only was the whole world laid out below it, but it was surrounded by sparkling jewels. Next picture. Then what had been the stream realized that all those sparkling jewels were parts of it, molecules of water, droplets of moisture sparkling in the light. What had been the stream realized that it was truly beautiful on the inside. Next, the stream turned moisture, saw that it was not alone, for the wind had whispered to other streams and ponds, and even to the morning dew on the oasis. All had turned into moisture, and all their parts were also sparkling in the sun. Together they were even more beautiful, for the sunlight had changed them into all the colors of a rainbow. Next picture. Then the little stream turned rainbow felt itself falling and falling and falling. All the other droplets were falling too, until plop, 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 all the droplets ran together into a mighty river which rushed down the mountainside, across the plain, and into the sea, where the waves pushed it back and pulled it forward, and the currents carried it far out into the pulsing depths. Next picture. The little stream was content. But I understand that every now and then the wind would breeze by, whispering to the currents in the sea, come with me, and that the moisture would rise up into the wind and be carried away to start all over again. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. It's offertory time. That's right, we take offering here. That's because we fund ourselves, if you did not know that. So we take time, talent, and treasure, and this is the time that we take your treasure, if you have any to spare. We thank you so much for it. We appreciate it. We know that times are tough for a lot of us, so appreciate anything that you can give. And then we're going to have some special music. And we'll sing this as our closing song later, so hint. Yeah.
May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. Our love. May our love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone.
It's time for our ingathering. We're going to have Claire come up and give us some words and instructions.
Maybe a few words first. Here's a story. In the beginning was the deep, and the deep was a watery mystery, molecules swimming, merging, learning to see, evolving in fits and starts, until one day they crawled out of the water and onto the land and took in a big gulp of air, soon learning to walk, to run, to one day stand tall. And they were more than water now, blood and flesh and bone, but they would carry the water with them, inside them, wherever they would go. Maybe you can tell I've been watching a lot of Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson lately, and I do love the way that he paints the broad sweeps of cosmic history in beautiful poetic language. But I've been captivated by that image of the primordial waters for longer than I've even known the name Neil deGrasse Tyson. But we will come back to him in a minute. I came from a Bible memorization household, and Genesis 1 is one of those passages that has enough poetry and rhythm to it that it's not too hard to nail it down. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was formless and void, and darkness hovered over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. As a kid, that image of the watery deep was frankly a frightening one to me. I grew up taking the story very literally, and the concept of a deep that was somehow separate and deeper even than the darkness hovering over it, which was supposed to be the darkness that existed before existence, was more than my brain could comprehend. And this was a verse that was often skipped over. We would move quickly to let there be light. It's only in the last few years that I've found a renewed appreciation for this verse. So if you would, close your eyes and just notice what the images are that play before your mind as you hear it again. The earth was formless and void, and darkness hovered over the face of the deep. The Spirit hovered over the face of the waters. You can open your eyes. I know we're not here for a theology lesson, but bear with me. Even if you haven't thought about it in a while, some of you might be familiar with the term creation ex nihilo, right? Creation out of nothing. It's been Christian orthodoxy for almost 2,000 years, this idea that the God of the Bible created the universe out of nothing. One of my favorite eco-feminist theologians, Catherine Keller, wrote 300 pages on this one verse just to refute the notion of that creation out of nothing. And she does it by diving into that image of the deep. So I won't walk you through all 300 pages, but I will share what moved me about them. I hadn't realized how much it affected my life to move through the world believing that all existence had emerged at the whim of the deity. I mean, the truth is, our modern scientific understanding of where it all came from isn't all that much more clear. We can talk about the Big Bang, but Neil deGrasse Tyson would be the first one to tell you we simply can't know what might have come before that. It's the openness to the mystery that moves me. So the idea that this story that has been such a foundational pillar of the Western worldview, the story of creation out of nothing, might have once been a story of creation out of something, that drew me in. And the something that she focuses on is the chaos. Creation out of chaos. Now that is a story that speaks to my life. So close your eyes for me again and notice what images float through your mind. In the beginning, the dark waters of chaos swirled. And then, out of chaos, creation. It's a story not of a beginning from nothing, but from it all. And it begins in the waters of chaos and expands without end. You can open your eyes. We're here today to mark the occasion that we call Ingathering. It's a time to note the passing of seasons, the shift from the somewhat lazier days of summer to the structure and rhythms of the fall, and to honor the passage of time. Whether this summer we have spent time with family or traveling, or spent the whole summer just trying to keep the kids busy, as a community, we tend to be less present here during the summer months. And so today we acknowledge that we're back, and we're here, and maybe even refreshed and renewed for a new year of life together in this community. On a grander scale, in this ingathering, we also acknowledge that we have gathered ourselves in from many places and stories, life situations, and experiences. It is true that we are many, and it is true that we are one. And the water communion is one way that we can pause and, through ritual, mark this day with meaning. In the words of Neil deGrasse Tyson, I promise I'm done with him after this, this is his quote, there are more, get ready, there are more molecules of water in an 8-ounce cup of the stuff than there are cups of water in all the world's oceans. Every cup that passes through a single person and eventually rejoins the world's water supply holds enough molecules to mix 1,500 of them into every other cup of water in the world. No way around it, he says. Some of the water you just drank passed through the kidneys of Socrates, Genghis Khan, and Joan of Arc. To continue unpacking that water metaphor, one UU minister writes that the core symbolism of the water communion is that we all come from water. As a species on a planet where life began in the ocean, as mammals who float in amniotic fluid as we're readied for birth, as beings whose cells are mostly water. And yet we are separate from each other. We are separate and together, the way that water scatters into rain and streams and clouds and springs and ponds and puddles, and yet flows together again and again, one great planetary ocean. Not only is no drop of water superior to any other, all water comes from the same place. We might also say all creation emerges out of chaos. So it isn't that we gather here because we've moved through the chaos of summer and have everything in order now, I wish. We don't leave the chaos behind. We carry those depths within us wherever we go, just like the water that fills 60% of our flesh and bones. Now, the chaos is always with us. The question is, what will we create together out of that chaos this year? So my theologian, that I can't stop talking about, writes that her understanding of this theology of creation out of chaos leads her to one ethical imperative on which all her other ethics can be based, and it's this: to love is to bear with the chaos. To love is to bear with the chaos, not to like it or to foster it, but to recognize in it the unformed future. So in a few minutes, we'll begin the water communion, and you'll be invited to come forward, either bringing water that you've carried from home, from your very own home faucet, or from someplace meaningful to you, or to pour some water from the vases that we've provided to symbolize the waters that have carried us each year, and to watch those waters intermingle just as our lives do in this place, in this community. I am excited to see what we will create together this year. Before we gather the waters, let's embody not just the gathering of our human bodies, but all the experiences, memories, and stories we bring with us from the four corners of the world, the four corners of our lives. This is our traditional ingathering ritual in which we'll gather in energy from all directions. There will be a responsive call. If you want to go ahead and get your hymnals ready, it's number 389, Gathered Here. And I'll invite you to stand when you're ready. So between each direction, we'll stand, we'll face that direction. I'll recite some words and then we'll turn and face the next one and we'll sing between each one. Some of you will probably participate in this on a metaphysical level. Some of you, it might be more metaphorical, and it is all welcome here. But if you would, rise in body or spirit as we face the east. And if my calculations are correct, we are already facing east. Is that right? Thank you. Okay. It is 389, Gathered Here. We call out to the powers of the east, representing air and the radiance of dawn. I invite you to think of places to the east where you have lived, maybe, or visited, maybe even across the great Atlantic Ocean. And I invite you to lift to your minds friends and family who live east of here. Call on those memories of times with them and their spirits to be here with us today. And if you wish, you can lift their names into the sanctuary quietly before we sing. Gathered here in the mystery of this hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. And now I invite you to turn and face the south. Am I right? As we call on the powers of fire that the south represents, we're thankful also for those with good energy and loving people and the powers of nature that our world continues to heal. I ask you to think of places to the south of us where you've lived or visited. Invite to your mind those friends and family who might live south of here. Call on those memories, and you can recite their names aloud in the sanctuary before we sing. I invite you to turn and face the north towards the back of the sanctuary as we call out to the powers of the... Yep, that is west. All right, turn west. We call out to the powers of the west, the power of water. We envision wonderful bodies of water to the west, many that we may have visited or hope to visit. Think of those and of other places you might know people that you can call to your mind. Bring those into your heart. You can lift their names into the sanctuary before we sing. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. And now turn and face the north as we call out to the powers of the north, the powers of the mighty earth, the power of stone and mountain. Think of places north of us you might have lived or visited, and those family and friends who live there. Call their names into the sanctuary if you wish before we sing. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, and finally, I invite you to turn to the center of the room. The center, the home of the Spirit. And in this special place, I invite you to lift to mind friends and family members who have died, leaving us with memories and, of course, with love. I invite you to call on those memories of times with them, in their spirits, their life, and their love, to be here with us today. And you can lift their names into the sanctuary now. And we'll sing one more time. I didn't tell Mike that was coming. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Amen, and thank you. You can be seated. We'll now move into the time of our water communion. So as the music begins in a moment, we'll invite you to stand starting with this row in the front when it's your turn. And you can approach from the outside aisles. Come and gather your water unless you brought some with you, but otherwise choose the container that best fits your upper body strength and pour just a few drops into the bowl. Maybe even pause for a moment to delight in how the waters mingle and dance. This water will be holy, simply because we call it holy, because we believe that in our gathering there is meaning. And so the waters that we join together today will be purified and used throughout the year, perhaps for baby blessings, perhaps for adult blessings or rituals we haven't even come up with yet. When you have poured your water into the larger hole in this bowl in the middle, then you can return down the center aisle to your seat. And when the last waters have been gathered, Mary Beth and friends will lead us in the closing hymn. So I invite you on the front row to join us first.
Every time I feel this way, this old familiar sinking, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. I'll lay myself be lifted, I will let myself be lifted, I will let myself be lifted by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. It's been said, and I do believe, when I ask, so shall you receive. So take from me these troubles, give me sweet release, where the river will always run dry. I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. There is a river in my heart, with a knowingness of my highest good. I am willing, I will do my part, where the river will never run dry. I'll lay myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. I'll lay myself be lifted, I will let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. I'll lay myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted by. I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Where the river will never run dry. This river will never run dry.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Claire, for a beautiful service, for a beautiful ingathering, and It's just a beautiful meaning altogether. We appreciate y'all being here and sharing it with us. So, you know the closing song now because we sang it 5 times through earlier. So I'm going to have Joe and Bradley and Mike come back up, and we'll sing that a few times through, maybe 3 times. I don't know. We'll see what the Spirit leads, but maybe Joe will give us a little. What do we say?
I think we're
5 maybe?
We'll sing it 5
Yeah.
times total. We'll sing it up here twice, and then we'll invite everyone to join us for the last 3 times. And then on the last bit of the third voice together, third time together, we'll sing that last time 1 more time. So,
Okay.
I don't know
Just
if-
watch them. We'll cue you. Don't worry. If you feel like standing, great. If not, that's okay too. But if you want to stand and sing with us, that's great. And then after that, we'll have Claire come and do closing words and then Sunday sweets. Oh, they've got it. There we go.
May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May the pool of love we have gathered here spread its wings and fly far and near from the depths of our hearts to the farthest star. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone. May our love bless everyone.
Thank you, Iris. I feel like those should be our closing words. I'll leave you with these. These are lyrics from the hymn As Tranquil Streams by Marian Franklin Ham. As tranquil streams that meet and merge and flow as one to seek the sea, our kindred hearts and minds unite to build a church that shall be free, free from the bonds that bind the mind to narrow thought and lifeless creed, free from a social code that fails to serve the cause of human need, a freedom that reveres the past but trusts the dawning future more, and bids the soul in search of truth adventure boldly and explore. Prophetic Church, the future waits your liberating ministry. Go forward in the power of love. Proclaim the truth that makes us free. Go in peace.